Hey, Scott.
Hey, Luke.
We're talking about MVNOs.
It is
and
MVNO day.
we have another one to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Who are we talking about today?
Today, I'm going to talk to you about Tello.
All right. Tell us about Tello. They are an MVNO. So MVNOs, for everybody watching, it's a mobile virtual operating network operator. And what that means is they sign an agreement with a big carrier like T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon to use their service, for their customers to use their service. But they provide the rate plan. Sometimes they provide the phone and everything. And you deal with that company, not one of those big carriers. Most of the times, maybe a little cheaper than the big carriers.
Sometimes a lot cheaper.
You don't usually get all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
But that's about it. And they're a great option for somebody looking to save some money, especially if you don't really use your phone a lot.
Yeah, if you spend a lot of time on Wi-Fi,
Mm-hmm.
you're not concerned about data. That's kind of not a factor.
Right.
That's something that you'll find, a lot of us do. We spend most of our days at work on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Or at home on Wi-Fi. And, some people, they don't have needs, they don't need to text other countries. They don't travel very much with their device, or, they're not signed up to too many streaming services and some of these fringe benefits that come with some of the big carriers.
Right.
And you kind of scrap all that stuff and say, hey, let me just get talk, text, and some data for the most part. And that's what an MVNO is.
Yeah.
When you distill that, that's kind of what those are.
Right.
So today we'll talk about Tello, which is a particular one that I'm sure people have seen along the ways. It might, have seen the logo or the name or something and just had some questions. So these types of videos or podcasts are designed to kind of educate people and give them a little bit of insight into who Tello is, and then maybe push them in that direction or away from.
Yeah, we did a little bit of the research for you so you can, go about your day without having to get bogged down in rate plans and all that kind of info. So let's start. Who does Tello use for their service?
So Tello actually relies on T-Mobile for their network.
Okay.
So if you have T-Mobile today and you kind of have an idea of what coverage looks like, data speeds and so forth, that should be pretty much the same for you if you sign up for Tello. And that is a kind of a broad statement. One of the things with MVNOs, and it's not exclusive to Tello, is when you reach a certain point of data usage or in times of congestion and heavy usage, sometimes an MVNO will slow that data down a little bit. Temporarily, sometimes not even noticeable, but that is something to kind of keep in mind.
Yeah. So with that, with using their network and everything, do you have the same benefits as far as speed? I know T-Mobile has 5G. Do you have 5G with Tello?
Yes. So Tello does have 4G LTE and 5G service.
Okay.
When you have your rate plans, you have so much data that comes with it each month. But if you hit that cap, you don't get hit with overage charges. It will slow down to like a 2G speed.
Okay.
Something considerably slower, but you still have data.
Okay. So talk to me a little bit about those plans then. What can I get from them?
So there are 3 major plans right now. They have unlimited talk and text with a set amount of data.
Okay.
For as low as $10 a month, you can get a gigabyte of data, which sounds like nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're streaming a HD movie, you're done.
Yeah.
You'll blow through that quickly. But if you're somebody who is, a parent or grandparent, or maybe a first phone for a teen or a younger kid, 1 gigabyte, it's $10 a month.
Okay.
Move up a little bit for $14, you double that, you get 2 gigabytes.
Okay.
And for 4 gigabytes, you're only looking at $19 a month.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, less than double the price, but you're at 4 times the data there.
Nice.
So 4 gigabytes is a pretty decent amount, especially if you want to do some, taking pictures, sharing those on social media, browsing the internet, streaming some music. You'll have to kind of watch that, monitor that. 4 gigabytes can go kind of quickly for some people, but for others, you may never touch that.
Nice.
And those plans include free calling to 60 plus countries.
Oh, cool.
So if you have family overseas, those unlimited talk and
That long distance is included.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. What any other kind of deals do they have?
Yeah, so there are some phones that you can buy from Tello.
Okay.
So that kind of leads into another point.
Right.
That we typically kind of cover with these is whether the carrier provides phones.
Right.
So yes, Tello does provide handset selection,
Mm-hmm.
and right now, if you look at their website, you can save a couple bucks on different phones. The handset selection is sparse.
Okay.
And it leans into phones that are entry level, maybe some brands that you might not be super familiar with, but have been around for a while.
Yeah.
They're usually going to be, less than $100, less than $200.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to kind of skew towards, maybe something from the bigger brands might be a generation or two older.
Okay.
But so that doesn't necessarily make them a bad phone.
No, they're keeping the price point down on the phones, but to do that, they're offering devices that have been out for a while.
Yeah, it's kind of like a target demographic.
Yeah.
You're not really this heavy user. You're probably not really a heavy user.
Yeah, you don't really, if you're trying to save money on your phone bill, you're probably not worried about buying a really expensive phone.
Yeah. It's kind of an afterthought. A little bit more about the rate plans too. If you have multiple people in your family and you're like, oh, can we do a family plan? They allow that, but you basically build each plan based off of needs.
Oh.
So when you look at the website, they will actually have like these packages that they start with that include. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter plan where the bill comes to one person, but each phone.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as swebster77.
Not very
Until next time. Yeah, and it's a good way, like if you have a couple of children and you're like, hey, I don't want these guys going through our shared data, this isn't a thing to worry about here.
Right, because they have their own.
You guys have so much data, and I can teach you how to monitor this.
Sure.
And kind of make you a responsible user.
Yeah.
It's a good way to kind of budget time, money, data, and watch what you're doing with your phone and how it kind of goes through and can chew up an otherwise traditional cell phone.
Yeah. Plan. Well, I mean, that's a good point because the big three, I guess we'll say, the big carriers generally, their view is if you have a family plan, just get unlimited so that way you're covered.
Right.
So if anybody uses data, you don't have to worry about it. And it's kind of nice that you can say, you know what, my kids or my mom is on our plan. She doesn't use data. She only needs 1 gig and I can save it and not have to worry about getting extra data for somebody that might use more than you think or something like that.
Yeah, because you could say, hey, this plan is only $17 for her instead of going for somebody where, hey, you can get this plan for as low as $35 per line when you bring 4 people.
Right.
Well,
I don't need that for them.
She may not need the $35 worth of data and benefits. So it's a pretty cool option. If you are a T-Mobile subscriber now, you can actually bring your cell phone to them too.
Oh, perfect. That was the next question. If I have my own phone, can I bring that?
Yeah, so if you are, maybe you like to have a nice phone, you do some gaming, but you don't really need to worry about data. Like you spend your day connected to Wi-Fi, and you just need unlimited talk and text with a little bit of data to kind of protect you while you're out and about. This is a good option for that. Nice. And you can bring any compatible T-Mobile or unlocked GSM phone to them.
Okay. So what if I wanted to look at maybe what phones they had, or if I had a problem, if I sign up, if I have a problem, are there stores that I can go into?
So when you want to bring your phone to them, you're doing it in a virtual sense.
Okay.
It is an online only thing.
Yep.
So, and that's not uncommon for MVNOs.
Sure.
This is something that today's consumers are much more educated than in the past.
Yeah, we do a lot more stuff online anyway.
And you can find a lot of assistance through frequently asked questions, forums, subreddits, and just chatting with people online. They have, you can go through and get answers to a lot of questions just by contacting them directly.
Yeah.
But it's if you've had a phone for a couple of years, and a lot of people have, or some people have now had cell phones for 15, coming up on 20 years.
Yeah.
You don't need somebody to hold your hand. You just want to where do I go to look at my bill? Where do I pay my bill?
Yep.
I don't, I could set up automatic payment and be, forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes MVNOs pretty compelling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, that's a view of Tello. Mm-hmm. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you got something out of it. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.